Hello, Chicago Cubs fans. Welcome back to the channel. It is non-tender day for the MLB. The deadline has crossed, about 25 minutes ago or so. Coming in to give you the Cubs action on that front. And before we get into it, we got a jersey of the day. Got a home pinstripe out for you. Got Nico Horner today. We got quite a bit to discuss. Not a whole lot, but quite a bit. And before we get started, Cubs fans, if you would, please leave a like on the video. Leave your comments below. Tell me how you're feeling about everything today. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so we can beat the YouTube algorithm. Let's go. Now let's see here. The headline from MLB.com, Jordan Bastian, TAUCHMAN Madrigal among the Cubs non-tenders. Now, right off the bat, I will tell you, I am very surprised about the Mike Tauchman portion of that. I felt that of the utility players, Mike Tauchman would be the most likely to stay. But we'll read this article from top to bottom. I won't read the fluff of the article, but I'll just read the portions about the players. Avoided arbitration, right-handed pitcher Julian Merryweather. While he was only limited to 15 games and 15 innings in the season before dealing with health setbacks, missing most of the first half due to a rib fracture in his back, then being shelved with right knee issues down the stretch, the 33-year-old righty was a key part of the bullpen in 23 and had a 3.38 ERA with 98 strikeouts against 36 walks and 72 innings in 69 appearances. I don't mind the Cubs keeping Merryweather. Like I said, when he's healthy, I think that he's very solid. I think that he has, I think that he does some damage. So I do appreciate seeing Julian Merryweather back. Let's see here. We also have Matt Theus, I'm sorry, picked him up for cash considerations. He was designated for assignment by the Angels. I just spoke about him in the video. In my previous video, he is a very run-of-the-mill production guy for catchers for what the Cubs pattern seems to be. His slash line is 210, 320, 325 with 11 homers, 15 doubles, 47 RBIs, and 64 walks in 152 games with the Los Angeles Angels. So, I don't mind a depth piece at catcher, having somebody to back up our current catcher in Miguel Amaya just in case. He has an offensive production lull where I think he was batting like 140 for a little while. Like I said, just for a depth piece, I don't really mind it, especially just for cash considerations. You didn't really give up any players for him, so not the end of the world for me. Keegan Thompson, who will turn 30 in March. Bounced between the Cubs bullpen and AAA last season. In 24 appearances for the Cubs, the right-hander logged a 2.67 ERA, 36 strikeouts, 18 walks in 30 and one-third innings. That also included a 1.02 ERA in his last 15 outings. He has a career 3.64 ERA in 104 games. I'm okay with Keegan Thompson being tendered here. I know that or avoiding arbitration. I mean, his production at the end of the year last year, he really brought things back down to where he was like mid-season last year. He really gained command of his fastball, and it's just he had a lot of good things going on in those last 15 appearances. So he definitely ticked up as far as production goes in the bullpen. I would like to make sure that obviously he could find a way to translate that into 2025, but at least he trended upwards because it was not looking good there for a little while. So, AAA definitely helped him, and I'm glad to see him back. So tendered contracts. Eli Morgan, we had just traded for Mr. Eli Morgan. He had a 1.93 ERA with 34 strikeouts, 11 walks in 42 innings last season. I believe I said that he was right around like a 3.40 ERA career pitcher. So, again, a guy that's trending in the right direction. I hope to see that Jed is getting back to finding the right fit for the bullpen and how they're developing their pitchers now under Counsell, because we did have that stretch for a couple of years where where Jed Hoyer really found a way to get these diamond in the rough pitchers and just make them outstanding. I mean, uh, we had F. Ross that was outstanding. Um, oh man, names are just slipping my mind right now. Wow, I am sorry, Cubs fans. Point being, Craig Counsell. God, I keep saying Craig Counsell. Jed Hoyer had a really big habit from like 2021 going into 2023 where he just found pitchers and just turned them into trade pieces left and right. So it looks like he's starting to go back into that direction where instead of finding guys that are just serviceable, he's starting to find guys that can actually get production. Isaac Paredes looks like he was tendered today too, which again I don't mind. I like his stability at third base. He had 238 with 19 homers, 25 doubles, 80 RBIs, and a 379 OPS the last season. That is definitely better than Christopher Morel numbers. Not the kind of production exactly that you want out of your third baseman. I know that they got Paredes because they were looking for a little bit more power. But I do also understand going to a new city and a new team and how that can affect your production for a little bit. He did uptick a little bit at the end of the season there, so I'm excited to see if he turns things going up to the upside and has a productive 2025. I'm looking forward to that as well. Right-handed pitcher Nate Pearson, he was also tendered today, which is good for him. I really enjoyed his work out of the bullpen. In 60 games overall in 2024, the righty had a 4.48 ERA with 74 strikeouts, 21 walks, and 66 and one-third innings. He had a 2.73 ERA in 19 games for the Cubs and really hit his stride down the stretch, posting a 2.25 ERA with 18 strikeouts, 4 walks in his final 15 outings of 20 innings. Again, the Cubs seem to have found a way to get their bullpen production better. ERA's down, walks are down. So that is, again, good to see. I really liked Nate Pearson's production at the backside of the season from the bullpen. So I'm glad to see him coming back as well. Left-handed pitcher Justin Steele. This was kind of a no-brainer for everybody involved. He's really blossomed in the rotation. He really kind of gives off John Lester vibes to me, just the way that he releases the ball, the way he stands, the way he comes set. To me, he reminds me of John Lester. He's got a lot of the same mannerisms and the same body motion and the same mannerisms. I mean, the guy just embodies that style of play, and I love it. He was limited to 134 and two-thirds innings due to some injury setbacks. However, he held a 3.07 ERA with 135 strikeouts against 37 walks in his 24 starts. And his last 7 turns featured a 2.16 ERA. Again, the pitching staff just trended downward in ERA, walks, giving up the big hits. They really trend downward at the end of the year while the offense was starting to tick up. So, if you can get that, a power bat like a Willie Adames or somebody of that figure, and you can get like a Max Fried type of pitcher, I mean, you're looking at adding a couple of wins to the Cubs and turning them into an 88 to 90 win team easily. And that's if the Cubs basically duplicate what they did in 2024 and had a 2-month period where the offense couldn't do anything. So if your offense stays relatively stable throughout the year, you should be able to achieve 90 wins if you can just add one more power hitter and a good starter to the rotation. Non-tendered. This is where things get a little bit spicy because there's one big name in here that I did not see coming. Two-base Nick Madrigal, kind of obvious. I mean, the guy really didn't do a whole lot at the major league level for us last year. So, I mean, he spent most of his time in AAA. I mean, he was supposed to come to Chicago or from the White Sox to the Cubs to help rejuvenate his career. It just didn't really turn out that way. I wish him all the best luck. I still think that there is talent to be had there. It's just that that window has closed for the Cubs, and that is what it is. The big one for me, outfielder Mike Tauchman. This is the one that I'm kind of scratching my head over. I thought that another if another like rotational player was going to go out the door, it would have been like a Miles Mastrobuoni type of guy. Tauchman really kind of, that one really just kind of, I don't really understand it. He had a 357 on base percentage and saw an average of 4.37 pitches per plate appearance in 2024. He hit 250 with a 732 OPS in 217 games for the Cubs. And, I don't think that 4.37 pitches per plate appearance really does it justice, because it seemed like in the summertime, Mike Tauchman really picked it up where he was grinding out these 8, 10, 12, 14 pitch at bats, and he was doing it on the regular, like off the bench. It was insane. It was like Anthony Rizzo-esque, the way that he would just sit there and take pitches, follow them off, and a couple of them were and it resulted in walk-offs. I mean, there was a walk-off single and a walk-off home run in there, so it's kind of sad to see him go. However, for the age 33, I could understand looking to bring somebody a little bit younger to put into that role. Like, I mean, I get it, and I also think that they're really banking on Pete Crow Armstrong really taking the next step in his career as far as his outfielding skills goes and how he, works at the plate. So I hate to see Tauchman go, but again, I don't hate the move. I'm just a little sad about the move. And then additionally, these were moves that were already made beforehand that had a video made a couple of days ago. Edward Alzolay was also DFA'd. Brennan Davis was DFA'd. Trey Winckenter was DFA'd. And third baseman Patrick Wisdom were DFA'd. And I don't believe that they cleared waivers, so they were officially non-tendered today. So even though they were DFA'd, they were still on the roster, just not the 40-man, and they were officially DFA'd today. Well, Cubs fans, that wraps up the non-tender deadline for the Chicago Cubs today. Let me know in the comments section what you think. I believe that Mike Tauchman is an absolute bombshell of a shock to everybody. I don't think any of us really saw him getting DFA'd, but he has been DFA'd. So let me know in the comments what you think. Did the Cubs make enough roster moves to free up enough space? Is there any players that you wanted to see DFA'd or non-tendered that weren't? Again, let me know in the comments section. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so that we could beat that YouTube algorithm. And Cubs fans, I will catch you for some news when we got it. You guys have a fantastic weekend.